The vastness of space had never seemed more oppressive to Lyria, a young pilot from the alien species known as the Veltarns. Her people thrived in the high-oxygen atmospheres of lush, verdant planets, which made the barren, cold expanse of Earth's moon base an intolerable prison. The humans had invited the Veltarns as a gesture of peace and technological exchange, but to Lyria, it felt more like an exile. Her disdain for Earth and its inhabitants had grown each day, fed by her longing for the emerald skies of her home. Lyria's mission was simple: engage in the Earth Alliance's pilot program to foster interstellar cooperation. However, her real task, as assigned by her superiors, was to assess humanity's technological capabilities and report back. The humans, unaware of her dual intentions, treated her with a curious mixture of respect and caution. They were particularly proud of their latest advancement in space aviation. A high-speed fighter jet they claimed could outmaneuver any spacecraft in the known galaxies. One day, while inspecting the hangar that housed these jets, Lyria was approached by Captain Jack Harris, a pilot whose reputation among his peers was legendary. He was known not only for his skills, but also for his open-mindedness towards alien species, a rarity among his kind. "Lyria, right? I've heard you're one of the best pilots the Veltarns have," Jack said, extending a hand in a typical human greeting. Lyria hesitated but took his hand, the human warmth startling her. "I am competent," she replied coolly, pulling her hand back quicker than necessary. "I was wondering if you might like to take a spin with me, in the simulator, of course. Earth's gravity can be a bit harsh for your kind, I've heard." Lyria's first instinct was to decline. She had no interest in bonding with a human, but her mission required gathering information, and what better way than to engage directly with their technology under the guise of friendly competition. "I accept your challenge, Captain Harris," she said, her tone more diplomatic than she felt. The simulator was a dome-shaped room filled with controls and screens, designed to mimic the cockpit of the fighter jet. As they strapped in, Jack initiated the simulation, choosing a scenario that replicated the notorious asteroid field of the Bellari system. "Let's see how you handle real pressure," Jack grinned, his eyes fixed on the screens as asteroids began to hurtle towards them. Lyria felt her competitive spirit rise to the forefront, her fingers deftly maneuvering the controls. The simulation was impressively realistic, challenging even for a pilot of her experience. As they dodged and weaved through the asteroids, a simulated warning alarm sounded. Their engines were hit and losing power. "In an actual fight, this is where you need a good co-pilot," Jack shouted over the noise, his hands moving rapidly to stabilize their failing systems. The scenario took a sharp turn when the simulation projected a catastrophic failure, and the cabin began to simulate smoke. Jack coughed, his hands searching blindly through the blur. Lyria, realizing the simulation had intensified beyond a simple training exercise, took over both sets of controls, her fingers a blur of movement. With her swift intervention, they managed a narrow escape from the asteroid field, the simulation ending with their virtual ship limping away, severely damaged but intact. Breathing heavily, Jack turned to her, a mix of surprise and admiration in his eyes. "That was impressive. You saved us, Lyria." Lyria was about to respond when the simulator door opened, and a technician hurried in. "Sorry to interrupt, but there's been an incident in Hangar Bay 3. Captain Harris, they need you." As Jack hurried out, he paused, looking back at Lyria. "Thanks for the save. Maybe Earth isn't so bad with you around." Left alone in the simulator, Lyria pondered his words. For the first time since her arrival, she felt a flicker of something other than disdain for this strange, rocky planet and its people. Maybe, just maybe, there was more to Earth than she had allowed herself to see. As she exited the simulator, the corridors of the moon base seemed less cold, the weight of her mission less burdensome. But the real test of her evolving feelings toward Earth was yet to come. As Lyria walked back to her quarters, her thoughts were interrupted by a sudden alarm echoing through the moon base corridors. Lights flickered, and klaxons blared, signaling an emergency. Human personnel and a few of her Veltarn peers dashed towards the source of the commotion, their faces tense with concern. Lyria followed, her pilot instincts overriding her initial reluctance to involve herself further. The crowd led her to Hangar Bay 3, the very place Jack had been summoned to. As she approached, the air grew thick with smoke, and the acrid smell of burning electronics filled her nostrils. A spacecraft, an Earth model she hadn't seen before, was engulfed in flames. Fire suppression systems were already engaged, dousing the fire with foam and other chemicals. Jack was there, coordinating the response efforts, barking orders to both humans and Veltarns. When he saw Lyria, his expression softened for a moment. "Lyria, it's not safe here." Ignoring his warning, Lyria stepped closer. "What happened?" "Engine malfunction during a test run," Jack explained, his voice tense. "The pilot's trapped inside." Without a second thought, Lyria moved towards the burning ship. Her Veltarn physiology made her more resistant to smoke and heat, a fact that could now save a life. She reached the cockpit, where a young human pilot was unconscious, pinned by debris. Lyria's hands worked quickly, removing obstacles and carefully extracting the pilot. Her training on Veltarn had included emergency rescues in hostile environments, a far cry from the cold vacuum of space, but relevant now more than ever. As she dragged the pilot to safety, medical teams rushed forward, taking over. Jack joined her, his face etched with gratitude. "You didn't have to do that," he said. "But I did," Lyria replied, surprised at her own conviction. Her actions had transcended orders and mission objectives. She had acted out of a genuine desire to help, something new and unsettling. The incident sparked a change in the base's atmosphere. Lyria's heroism broke down barriers. Her human colleagues began to view her not just as a skilled pilot from a distant world, but as a comrade. Invitations to socialize followed, and Lyria found herself joining the humans in their communal areas, sharing stories of her world, and in turn listening to theirs. One evening, while sharing a meal in the base's mess hall, Lyria found herself sitting across from an engineer named Sophia. Sophia was intrigued by Lyria's description of Veltarn technology, particularly their use of bioengineered materials. "Our ships are part of us, literally. They grow as we do, connected to our life force," Lyria explained. "That's fascinating," Sophia mused. "Our technology is so cold, so mechanical. There's a beauty to yours that we can't replicate." Lyria considered this. Perhaps there's a way to blend our technologies, your mechanical prowess, our biological advancements. There could be potential for something new. Sophia nodded, her eyes alight with possibilities. "I'd like to see that. Maybe we can start a project, something unofficial, a fusion of Veltarn and human ingenuity." The proposal excited Lyria. It was a chance to truly engage with Earth technology, not just as a spy, but as a creator. As they discussed ideas, Lyria realized how far she had come from her initial disdain for Earth. Her involvement was no longer just about duty. It was about curiosity, growth, and perhaps, against all odds, a budding sense of belonging. Lyria and Sophia spent their days deep in the heart of the research labs, surrounded by tools and technologies from both worlds. They worked tirelessly, driven by a shared vision of integrating Veltarn bioengineering with human mechanical designs. Their project, initially just a series of sketches and theoretical models, began to take physical shape, representing a pioneering step in interspecies collaboration. Meanwhile, the Earth Alliance, intrigued by Lyria's unexpected heroism and her initiative in the project with Sophia, decided to expedite the integration of Veltarn technology into their fleet. This brought more Veltarn experts to the moon base, turning it into a buzzing hub of innovation. However, this surge of activity also attracted unwanted attention. One evening, while reviewing the progress of their prototype, a vessel that could theoretically regenerate its own hull using biological materials, Lyria received a secure transmission from her home planet. The message was cryptic, warning her of a possible espionage attempt by rival factions within the Earth Alliance who might see the Veltarn collaboration as a threat to human autonomy. Lyria shared her concerns with Sophia, who frowned. "We knew there might be resistance, but espionage? That's serious. Maybe we need to take extra precautions." Together, they implemented additional security measures around their project, including encrypted data logs and restricted access to their lab. Their caution proved justified when, days later, they discovered tampering in their lab's data terminals, an attempt to steal their research. Alerted to the breach, security forces conducted a swift investigation, revealing a small group of human nationalists within the base who feared the loss of human supremacy in technology. The culprits were apprehended, but the incident left a chill in the air. Despite these challenges, Lyria and Sophia's project continued to draw interest from various quarters, not just within the Alliance, but also from other alien species who saw potential in such partnerships. Their work was pioneering, potentially setting the stage for a new era of interstellar collaboration. As the project neared completion, Lyria felt a mix of anticipation and anxiety. The prototype vessel, which they had affectionately named Harmony, was ready for its first test flight. The design was sleek, its surface alive with a subtle, organic pulse, almost as if the ship itself were breathing. The day of the test flight arrived with much fanfare. Delegates from various planets, including several high-ranking members of the Veltarn government, were present. Lyria, chosen as the pilot for Harmony's maiden voyage, felt the weight of expectation heavy on her shoulders. Sophia squeezed her hand before she climbed into the cockpit. "You've got this, Lyria. Harmony is more than just a ship. It's a symbol." As Lyria initiated the launch sequence, her mind was a whirlwind of emotions. The engines hummed to life, resonating with the bio-engineered core, and as Harmony lifted off, soaring effortlessly into the black void, a cheer erupted from the audience. Cruising beyond the moon's gravity, Lyria tested Harmony's capabilities, pushing it through complex maneuvers that showcased both its mechanical precision and biological adaptability. The ship responded beautifully, its systems a seamless integration of Veltarn and human technology. As she piloted Harmony back towards the base, Lyria felt a profound shift in her perception. Earth, with all its complexities and contradictions, had become more than a place of assignment. It was now a field of potential, a testament to what could be achieved when diverse worlds united in pursuit of a common vision. The success of Harmony's test flight marked a turning point not only in Lyria's personal views, but also in interstellar diplomatic relations. The event was broadcast across multiple systems, showcasing the collaborative spirit and technical prowess of both the Veltarns and humans. This publicity significantly quelled the dissenting voices within the Earth Alliance, highlighting the mutual benefits of such partnerships. Buoyed by this triumph, Lyria and Sophia were invited to present their project at the Interstellar Science Symposium, held on Centauri Prime, a neutral planet known for its commitment to scientific advancement and peace. The symposium was a gathering of the brightest minds from across the galaxy, and the invitation was a testament to the significance of their work. Upon their arrival, Lyria was struck by the diversity of species and technologies displayed. Each presentation revealed new possibilities and challenges in the field of space travel and interspecies cooperation. Amid this inspiring environment, Lyria and Sophia prepared for their own presentation, eager to share their journey and the specifics of the Harmony project. Their session was packed, a mix of curious scientists, skeptical diplomats, and eager young students from various planets. Sophia led the presentation, explaining the technical aspects of integrating biological materials with mechanical systems, while Lyria spoke about the practical applications and the pilot's experience. The response was overwhelmingly positive, with many expressing interest in adapting the technology for their own use. Questions poured in, ranging from technical queries about the bioregeneration process to broader inquiries about the implications of such technology for peace and cooperation in the galaxy. During the symposium, Lyria met representatives from other alien races facing similar challenges with technology integration and diplomatic relations. These interactions were enlightening, offering perspectives on how different worlds manage their own innovations and alliances. One particularly intriguing encounter was with a delegate from the aquatic planet Aquarian, who discussed their own experiments with bioadaptive ships capable of underwater and space travel. Amid these discussions, Lyria found herself more involved and invested than she had ever anticipated. The experience broadened her understanding of her role, not just as a pilot or a scientist, but as a bridge between species and technologies. One evening, after a day filled with lectures and demonstrations, Lyria and Sophia sat by a reflecting pool in the symposium's Peace Gardens. a serene spot favored by attendees for quiet conversation and reflection. As they relaxed, a group of young students approached them, expressing their admiration and curiosity about the Harmony Project. Lyria listened to their enthusiastic ideas and realized how much of an impact their work could have on the next generation of scientists and explorers. Inspired, she shared insights from her experiences, emphasizing the importance of persistence, collaboration, and open-mindedness. As the symposium drew to a close, Lyria and Sophia received an offer from the Galactic Science Council to fund further development of their project, along with proposals for additional collaborative ventures with other species. The success at the symposium had opened many doors, and as they prepared to return to the moon base, both felt a renewed sense of purpose and excitement for the future. Returning to Earth's moon, Lyria viewed the familiar landscapes through a new lens. The base, once a symbol of her exile, now represented a beacon of potential. As she and Sophia continued their work, expanding on Harmony's capabilities and planning new projects, Lyria no longer felt like an outsider. Earth had become a pivotal part of her life, a place where she could make a difference. Not just for her people, but for the galaxy at large. Back at the moon base, Lyria and Sophia's work accelerated with the new funding and collaborative opportunities. The lab was a flurry of activity, with experts from various worlds coming and going, each contributing their unique perspectives and expertise. The Harmony Project had evolved into a broader initiative now dubbed the Unity Program, reflecting its goal of fostering wider interstellar cooperation and technological integration. Amidst this bustle, a new challenge presented itself. The data from Harmony's test flights revealed anomalies in the biomechanical interface, occasional hitches that could potentially lead to system failures if not addressed. The problem was subtle, manifesting only under specific conditions of stress and strain that were hard to replicate consistently. Determined to resolve these issues, Lyria and Sophia organized a series of intensive workshops with their interstellar colleagues. These sessions often stretched late into the night, fueled by endless cups of coffee and animated debates. Each session brought them closer to isolating the problem, a complex interplay between the biomaterials' growth patterns and the mechanical components' stress tolerances. During one such late-night session, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source. A junior engineer from Mars, with a background in synthetic biology, suggested a radical redesign of the interface. His idea was to use a dynamic adaptive mesh that could modulate its properties based on real-time stress data, essentially allowing the ship to heal itself preemptively. Lyria was intrigued by the concept and pushed for immediate small-scale testing. The results were promising, showing significant improvements in interface stability. The team was invigorated by this success, and plans were made to retrofit Harmony with this new system for further tests. As the Unity program grew in scope, so did its visibility. The moonbase began to attract visits from high-ranking officials and diplomats, keen to see the progress firsthand. During one such visit, the Earth Alliance's Secretary of Interstellar Relations toured the facility, accompanied by media from across the galaxy. Lyria, who had once viewed such attention with suspicion, now found herself a willing spokesperson for their achievements. She explained the technical details and broader implications of their work with a clarity and passion that resonated with their visitors. Her words, broadcast across interstellar networks, inspired a wave of optimism about the future of space travel and cooperation. Amid these developments, personal growth mirrored professional achievements. Lyria, who had initially kept her distance from her human colleagues, now found herself deeply involved in their lives. She attended cultural events and shared meals, her previous reservations slowly dissolving in the face of genuine friendships and shared goals. One particularly poignant moment came during a celebration of the Earth holiday known as the Festival of Lights. Lyria was invited to participate in the lighting ceremony, a symbol of unity and hope. Standing among her friends, both human and alien, she felt a profound sense of community. It was a stark contrast to her first lonely days on the base. The festival night ended with a display of lights and colors that filled the sky above the moon's surface. Watching the vibrant explosions mirror the stars above, Lyria reflected on her transformed perceptions. Earth, once a place of desolation in her eyes, had revealed its capacity for warmth and wonder, paralleling her own journey of discovery and connection. With each passing day, the Unity program not only pushed the boundaries of science but also forged deeper bonds among those who worked within its framework. It had become a symbol of hope and a testament to the power of collaborative spirit in overcoming the vast distances and differences that once seemed insurmountable. As the Unity program matured, it became a beacon of innovation, transcending its initial scope. The collaborative efforts had not only resolved the technical challenges, but also forged a template for future multi-species projects. Harmony, equipped with the new adaptive mesh interface, was now ready for a more ambitious test flight, one that would take it beyond the Moon's orbit, around Earth and back, a full demonstration of its enhanced capabilities. Lyria was once again at the helm, her confidence bolstered by the successful outcomes of their relentless dedication. The day of the flight attracted a crowd that was a microcosm of the galaxy. Humans, Veltarns, and delegates from various allied planets, all united in their anticipation of this landmark achievement. Before the launch, Sophia handed Lyria a small emblem representing Earth and Veltarn, a symbol of their friendship and the unity that had infused their work. "For luck, though I know you don't need it," Sophia smiled, clipping it to Lyria's suit. As Lyria settled into the cockpit, the weight of the emblem felt like a tether, grounding her in the reality of what they had achieved together. The countdown began, and as the engines roared to life, the gathered crowd held their breath in unison. The flight was smooth, Harmony responding with agility and resilience, its systems performing flawlessly. Lyria took the ship through complex maneuvers, showcasing not just the technological prowess, but the potential for peace and mutual respect that the project symbolized. Upon her return, the base erupted in cheers and applause. The successful flight was not just a victory for Lyria or Sophia, but for all those who had dared to envision a galaxy where cooperation outweighed conflict. In the days that followed, Lyria and Sophia were invited to speak at several planetary councils, sharing their insights and the lessons learned from the Unity program. Their project was now set to be a case study in a new curriculum designed for young engineers and diplomats across the galaxy, emphasizing the importance of diversity in solving complex challenges. As the program concluded, a formal gala was held at the moon base. Dignitaries and team members alike gathered to celebrate their shared success. Lyria, who had once viewed her assignment with disdain, now stood before the assembly, her speech resonating with genuine appreciation for the journey and its outcomes. "In our diversity, we found not weakness, but strength, not discord, but harmony," Lyria addressed the crowd. "Let this project be a reminder that when we come together, the stars themselves are within our reach." The evening concluded with a symbolic gesture, a tree-planting ceremony on the moon's surface, using a bioengineered tree that could thrive in the harsh lunar environment. This tree, visible from the base, was to grow alongside the ongoing collaborations, a living testament to the roots they had laid down together. As Lyria watched the young tree being planted, she felt a deep connection to both her own world and Earth. The project had changed her in ways she couldn't have anticipated, teaching her about the beauty of unity and the power of shared goals. With the success of the Unity program, Lyria's role evolved. She became an ambassador, not just for Veltarn but for interspecies collaboration, traveling between worlds to promote the ideals that had turned a once improbable project into a landmark achievement. Her final night at the moon base, Lyria looked out at the Earth, a pale blue dot cradled in the blackness of space. It was a poignant reminder of how far she had come, from an alien filled with resentment to a pioneer of a new era of interspecies cooperation. As she prepared for her next mission, she felt a profound sense of optimism, ready to face whatever challenges the galaxy held, buoyed by the enduring spirit of unity that Harmony had ignited.